Yeah, hi there, Megumi. This is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer of the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to some of your recordings that you have recorded online for me in the second part of my online TOEFL course, the part that focuses on the pronunciation. Now, if I remember correctly, you are recording some pairs of words right now, and you're practicing I think the O and the These are called syllabic consonants. Let's take a look at these.
Lesson 21. 1. Multiple robot. 2. Example. Pressure. 3. Principle. Number. 4. Resemble. Nature. 5. Lifestyle. Answer. 6. People. Philosopher. 7. Muscle. Purpose. 8. Stabilize. Further. 9. Oil. Posture. 10. Fragile. However.
Yeah, okay, on that one, that was pretty good. So when you're doing them in isolation, not too bad. The one I was worried about is the O sound, but you did fine with it. I didn't notice any major problems. Let's work on them one more time together. Repeat these words with me. Multiple. Example. Principle. Resemble. Lifestyle. People. Muscle. Stabilize. Oil. Fragile. I guess that number 10, that's not really targeting this sound. That's fragile. I-O. I-O. Oh, I guess it is at the end. I-O. Fragile. Alright, let's move ahead. So it looks like the next lesson you're focusing on right now is exercise 2 of lesson 22. Alright, let's take a look at this.
Lesson 22. Exercise 2. Autism, an abnormal absorption with the self, is often marked by communication disorders and short attention span and inability to treat others as people. Although there is no known cause or cure, many dissertations have been written about possible treatment for the disorder, with some allowing its patients to live semi-normal lives. Statistics suggest that approximately
Let's try one word here, the word with. With some allowing its patience. So just the word, when you do the word with, the tongue is between the teeth. With.
metric, 5 in 1,000 people affected by autism, making it more common in a population than previously thought.
Okay, that was pretty good. Let's work on it together. Now, one thing that when you get later on into my pronunciation lessons, there is a lesson called sentence rhythm, Megumi. And sentence rhythm is the combination of stressing unstressed and unstressed words in the English language. Now, unstressed words are words like articles, prepositions, and determiners. For example, if you say autism, then you have an abnormal, you have and, then you have with, and then the, but don't stress words like and then with and the. So read it together with me a little bit. Now, actually, let me practice the bolded sounds with you first, and then we can read it together. Autism, absorption, often, communication, attention, dissertations, written. And a lot of native speakers will probably not say written, they'll say written. Autism, and then population. Alright, here we go. Autism, an abnormal absorption with the self, is often marked by communication disorders and short attention span and inability to treat others as people. Although there is no known cause or cure, many dissertations have been written about possible treatments for the disorder, with some allowing its patients to live semi-normal lives. Statistics suggest that approximately 5 in 1,000 people are affected by autism, making it more common in our population than previously thought. Alright, let's go to the next one. So you're doing lesson 1 in exercise 23. So it looks like you're getting into the T and the D sound. So let me find this. I have a book that has all of the lessons that you practiced here. Let me go ahead and find this for a minute. Hold on. Be right back. And the main thing with the T, Megumi, is the air. It's how much aspiration you do when you produce a sound. It's similar to the T and the B. They both require a lot of air. So let's see how you do with this one.
Lesson 23. Exercise 1. 1. Actually, Earth density is due in part to gravitational compression. If not for this, Mercury would be denser than Earth. 2.
Just one quick question or one quick comment. The number one, the word, this is more of a stress issue. Density. Stress is on that first syllable. Density. Now when we create primary stress, we want to make that syllable longer, louder, clearer, and also higher pitched. Again, density, density.
If we examine words other than hunt, we find many additional instances where each of these three families is characterized by different looking roots, just as in case of hunt.
Okay, let's try that word, the TH sound. These three families. So you actually have two sounds there. One, we call it the interdental voice consonant, and what that means is the tongue is between the teeth when I produce a sound, but also there's vibration in the vocal folds when I produce this sound. So that's called the interdental voice consonant. Now it doesn't really matter what the name of the consonant is, but what matters is that you do put the tongue between your teeth. And the same thing with the word three. And you're okay with that. You just have to make sure your tongue is in the right position, or if you don't pronounce these, it could sound like teas. It could sound like a different word.
3. By the 1980s, the downburst and the microburst were being studied as a unique phenomena generated by things such as an intrusion of dry air. At long last, we had a way to distinguish tornado damage from damage of non-tornadic winds.
Okay, this is a little bit hard for you. It's just the L sound. At long last. At long last. Alright?
4. Another sign of intelligence thought to be absent in most non-human animals is the ability to engage in complex, meaningful communication. Only recently has the general perception of parrots as Mother's mimics has been shown to be incorrect. 5.
Okay, I think we're okay here. Notice this is more of a writing thing. Now, sometimes as you're doing these exercises, you can also notice the grammar. Did you notice this only recently? And then I had the auxiliary verb, and then I had the subject, which is perception, and then I had the main verb, which is been. What does that mean? Sometimes when we're using what's called adverbs of frequency or negation, and we put that adverb of frequency in the beginning, you have to change the word order. That's a good sentence style, something that you can think about either when you're speaking or when you're writing. Again, notice, only recently has the general perception of parrots been shown to be incorrect.
Several tools have been developed to help land users identify unstable slopes. Slope maps,
Okay, let's take a look at the one word. It's land users to identify unstable slopes. Unstable.
maps and landslide deposit maps are available for public inspection at the Santa Cruz County Planning Department.
Okay, let's take a look at this one for a minute. Go ahead and practice with me here. Let's read this one together, Megumi. So, number 1. Actually, Earth's density is due in part to gravitational compression. If not for this, Mercury would be denser than the Earth. Number 2. If we examine words other than hand, we find many additional instances where each of the 3 families is characterized by different looking roots, just in the case of hand. Number 3. By the 1980s, the downburst and microburst were being studied as a unique phenomena generated by things such as an intrusion of dry air. At long last, we had a way to distinguish tornado damage from damage of non-tornadic winds. Number 4. Another sign of intelligence thought to be absent in most non-human animals is the ability to engage in complex, meaningful communication. Only recently has the general perception of parrots as mindless mimics been shown to be incorrect. And number 5. Several tools have been developed to help land users identify unstable slopes. Slope maps, geology maps, and landslide deposit maps are available for public inspection at the Santa Cruz County Planning Department. Now notice here, Megumi, is like I was telling you in another video, is when you're using or you're saying like several items in a series of items, and in this particular case, it looks like I was talking about 3 different things, and the tone needs to rise on the first 2 and drop on the last one. So I say slope maps, geology maps, and landslide deposit maps. That's where my tone drops. Now remember that you're coming from a language which is a monotone language. You're used to speaking in you're used to speaking in a certain tone without varying your tone as much as we do in English, right? So you have to work on that a little bit more, right? That's just something that you can keep in mind as you're completing my pronunciation exercises for the pronunciation part of my course. Alrighty, anyway, so to recap, we've gone over the 3 practice exercises that you submitted online at my Voxipop discussion group, and looks like you're going in the right direction, and you're getting ready, I think, to get to the second part of my pronunciation part of my course. So it looks like, if I'm looking at this correctly, you have one more lesson. It looks like Speak Clearly lesson number 24, And this is going to be hard for you. I'm going to give you a tip. I already know this is difficult for you. With the TH sound, just make sure you put your tongue between your teeth, like that. Thigh, or thy. Now once you complete that lesson, then you can do the second pretest, which will help give me an idea on how you're doing with the more advanced areas of English pronunciation. And keep up the good work.